Once hailed as the next big action hero, Steven Seagal's star has plummeted dramatically in recent decades. The pony-tailed martial artist did enjoy major success in the late 80s and early 90s with films like Above the Law, Hard to Kill, and Under Siege. But serious accusations against Seagal quickly began to pile up, including alleged sexual misconduct, bullying, and controversial relationships. Join Facts First as we take a look at the stunning roster of fellow celebrities who openly despise Steven Seagal. Road to Glory. Steven Seagal, a name synonymous with high-octane action sequences and martial arts mastery, has carved a niche for himself in Hollywood's Hall of Fame. Born April 10, 1952 in Lansing, Michigan, his early life was perhaps a precursor to future cinematic endeavors. He began his martial arts training at a young age, eventually moving to Japan in his late teens, where he immersed himself in the study of Aikido, a modern Japanese martial art. His dedication and prowess led him to become the first foreigner to operate an Aikido dojo in Japan. In the 80s, he made the transition to the silver screen, debuting with the film Above the Law. His unique blend of authentic martial arts techniques with cinematic storytelling set him apart from other action stars of the era. The film's success catapulted him into the limelight, and he quickly became a sought-after name for action-packed blockbusters. Movies like Hard to Kill, Under Siege, and On Deadly Ground further solidified his position as a bankable star. But his journey in Hollywood wasn't just about box office hits. His foray into the world of music, particularly blues and rock, showcased his versatility. An accomplished guitarist, Seagal released several albums and even performed at various ventures, further expanding his artistic repertoire. But he wasn't devoid of controversies. While his films were celebrated, off-screen altercations and disputes often made headlines, painting a multifaceted picture of the star. The world of Hollywood, while glittering with stardom, is also rife with personal conflicts and disagreements. Steven Seagal, with his larger-than-life persona, has not been immune to such disputes. Over the years, his star power has faded dramatically, amidst accusations of sexual misconduct, bullying behavior, and controversial friendships. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Steven Seagal and Jean-Claude Van Damme rose to fame as martial arts action stars around the same time. According to reports, rumors of an intense rivalry between the two began early on. During a 1988 appearance on the Arsenio Hall show, Seagal was said to have dismissed Van Damme's martial arts credentials. He stated on the show he believed it was a matter of opinion whether Van Damme was a champion anywhere. He also mentioned that there were many people who said it was not true in relation to claims about Van Damme's European Karate Championship. Understandably, Van Damme allegedly took offense to these comments, and a feud escalated over the years. At one point, studios even tried to capitalize on the bad blood by attempting to cast the two together in a film, but it never came to fruition. In 1997, Sylvester Stallone hosted a party that has become infamous for being the site of a confrontation between the two stars. According to Stallone's reported recollection, Van Damme directly challenged Seagal to fight him for real in Stallone's backyard. But Seagal allegedly wanted no part of an altercation with Van Damme. Stallone claimed in an interview with FHM magazine that Van Damme had been too strong and Seagal had wanted none of it at the party. Juliana Margulies. Before becoming a household name on the hit medical drama ER, a young Juliana Margulies was summoned by Steven Seagal for what she assumed would be a standard audition. However, the 23-year-old actress arrived to find no casting director present, just Seagal himself brandishing a gun. Understandably unsettled, Margulies quickly exited the scene. Despite the uncomfortable encounter, she was eventually cast opposite Seagal in the 1991 action film Out for Justice. But according to reports, after securing the role, she stipulated to producers that measures must be taken to ensure she was never left alone with Seagal on set. She later admitted she had been afraid of her co-star. In the wake of the Me Too movement exposing sexual misconduct in Hollywood, Margulies reflected that Seagal's inappropriate behavior was essentially a textbook example of that trend long before it received widespread public attention. Jenny McCarthy. Former Playboy model and actress Jenny McCarthy leveled disturbing accusations against Seagal from a casting call in the mid-90s. According to McCarthy, she was auditioning for a role in the 1995 sequel Under Siege 2, and Seagal instructed her to remove her clothes, claiming there was a nude scene. despite McCarthy's insistence that the pages in front of her clearly indicated no nudity was required for the part. McCarthy alleges that when she rebuffed Seagal's advances, he chillingly threatened her not to tell anybody. Rather than submit to his demands, McCarthy says she boldly told him her nude modeling work was already available to view if that's what he was interested in seeing, before promptly exiting the audition. John Leguizamo. Actor and comedian John Leguizamo has regularly shared an alarming story from the set of the 1996 action thriller Executive Decision. According to Leguizamo, when he chuckled at Steven Seagal's grandiose declaration, "I'm in command, what I say is the law," his co-star violently reacted. Leguizamo claims Seagal forcefully struck him with an Aikido elbow technique into a nearby wall, knocking the wind out of him. Over the years, in interviews and in his stand-up routine, Leguizamo has mockingly impersonated what he alleges was Seagal's feminine running form while filming the movie. He also maintains that Seagal once threatened to punch him if their paths ever crossed on a red carpet in the future. Katherine Heigl. Katherine Heigl was just 16 years old when she appeared alongside Seagal as his niece in the 1995 action sequel Under Siege 2. According to Heigl's account on Jimmy Kimmel Live, Seagal made inappropriate sexual comments, including claiming to have other girlfriends near Heigl's age who don't seem to mind. Disturbed by her co-star's alleged remarks, Heigl yelled out for her mother, who was also on set. Furthermore, photographs taken at the film's premiere clearly show Seagal's hand placement on the young actress's breast as they posed together. The troubling images seem to visually back up Heigl's accusations against her former co-star's inappropriate conduct. Seagal's response. Seagal has never been one to shy away from addressing the various accusations against him. Having faced his share of controversies and criticisms, he's often chosen to address these issues head-on. His responses, often candid and direct, reflect his desire to set the record straight. While some of his explanations have been accepted by the public, others have been met with skepticism. He also has made efforts to mend bridges and reconcile with those he's had disagreements with. His spirituality and role as a Tibetan Buddhist have often played a part in his responses to criticisms. He frequently invokes spiritual principles when addressing controversies, emphasizing the importance of understanding, forgiveness, and personal growth. Now it's time to hear from you. Do these stories change your opinion about Steven Seagal and his movies? Let us know in the comments section below.